Hello everybody and welcome to Tuesday. Gaming fans alongside me know that E3 is currently going on in Los Angeles, California right now, I believe. And generally the big companies such as Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft will go there and they reveal their stuff and also give video. Nintendo is a big player with the Direct, but they didn't do a Direct. I don't know if they wanted. But anyway, today going to be my review of Nintendo Treehouse's June 14th, 2016 E3 coverage. They are supposed to be covering the new Legend of Zelda game coming out on the Wii U and NX, as well as Pokémon Sun Moon, and I am looking forward to it. Let's get to the live stream. Okay, Reggie?
Before we begin, we want to extend our condolences
This is Reggie from Nintendo. Before we begin, we want to extend our condolences to all the victims of the two tragic events in Orlando. Our thoughts are with their families and their communities. And this includes Christina Green, who was killed in an earlier incident and was scheduled to visit us here at our E3 booth this week. At Nintendo, we try to make our fans smile.
At E3, the loss of shedding a few tears. Please join me in a moment of silence.
Okay, Nintendo, E3, 2016.
If you've been a fan of Nintendo over the years, you'll know that the Nintendo experience is different at every E3. We always look for the best way to introduce our most important content. And this year is no different. And that's why we're coming to you directly from our show booth on the set of Nintendo Treehouse Live. On the other side of the wall behind me, the finishing touches are being made before we open it up to thousands of industry insiders in just a couple of hours. That space will immerse visitors in the world of a single game, the newest entry in the Legend of Zelda franchise. What's in store is an entirely new format for a Zelda game. 3 decades ago, the first Zelda game changed the way millions of people thought about video games. And this week, you'll discover a game that could change that thinking again. Here's the first look at what awaits.
Okay. So Zelda NX or Wii or U or whatever it is. Neat. I want to say straight up, you guys are actually lucky I'm here doing this because I literally just finished recording the end of Poke Park. So I had about 2 minutes, like 10 minutes to try to clean up recording, but I actually did. And I have no idea how long this is going to be. I'm actually watching it live. And that's the first. Okay, Zelda U or NX or whatever the title called seems neat. Looks like a lot of new gameplay mechanics are being introduced from what Reggie was saying earlier. That they're gonna change how people saw a video gaming just like the original did 30 years ago. Probably 30 years ago. 1986, man. Hard to believe that long ago. And it really is looking cool. Lots of different landscapes. Some high-tech looking ruins. And it looks like we get a shot at the Master Sword or something. Even thinking it's the Master Sword. Of course, what other sword would it be in Legend of Zelda? Hoping that it would reveal the logo. And the actual title, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So it's not, well, so it's not U or NX anymore, I guess. Nintendo.
The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild introduces you to a Hyrule that is truly seamless, where simply moving from one place to another begins to create what may be the adventure of a lifetime. And not only is this new world vast, but it feels alive. It teems with adventure. Throughout Link's quest, Hyrule will be a resource, an ally, an enemy, and always a place for discovery and wonder. This is easily one of the biggest experiences ever created by Nintendo. And today, you're going to get a close-up look. The portion of the game we're highlighting at E3, a wide-ranging plateau, may seem huge. In fact, no one here this week will be able to explore all of it. But even then,
Wow.
that plateau is only a tiny fraction of the full game map.
Wow.
We'll be devoting almost this full first day of Nintendo Treehouse Live coverage to just this one environment. Then, in the future, you'll learn more about the story, the characters, and the ways in which the boundaries of all previous Zelda titles are being broken. But in the end, full understanding and full immersion will only come when you experience it for yourself. However, before we show you this biggest adventure for Wii U and NX, we're going to show you the biggest new adventure coming up for Nintendo 3DS. As you heard, there are two new core Pokémon titles
Pokémon Sun and Moon.
on November 18th.
November 18, 2016.
Pokémon Sun and Pokémon Moon.
Sun and Moon.
As always, you'll pick which new starter Pokémon to partner with.
Obviously.
But which one to choose? Exactly what kind of battling awaits you? And what does the new Alola region have in store for players? Well, we figured there was no one better equipped to answer those questions than the two key developers of the game itself, producer Junichi Matsuda and director Shigeru Omori of Game Freak. So before we devote the rest of the day to The Legend of Zelda, I'm going to turn it over to the Treehouse team along with Mr. Matsuda and Mr. Omori to show you what it's like to start as a Pokemon trainer in the first ever live gameplay demonstration of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. So let's jump in. Take it away, Sam and Terry.
Alright. Time to go over Sun and Moon.
And thanks to everyone watching for tuning in and joining us for another Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3. We're really excited to get started. So, as Reggie mentioned, I'm Sam from Nintendo, and joining me up here, I've got Terry from Nintendo and my colleague David from TVCI. And we've also got our very special guests, Matsuda-san and Omori-san from Game Freak, who are joining us to chat about Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon.
Come on, boy.
Pokemon fans already know that you guys have a very long history of working with the Pokemon franchise, but can you tell our viewers a little bit more about what you guys are doing specifically with Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon?
2人ともポケモンの開発に関わってすごく歴史は長いんですけど、今回のポケモンサンと
In Japan. I can't speak Japanese.
そうですね、今年ポケモンが20周年ということで、ここから先のポケモン、未来に向けてのポケモンということで、私はプロデュースに徹して、今回重信森が、ディレクターという新しい体制で取っていました。So this is the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, as I think many of you know, and when thinking about the future of Pokemon, I've decided that I would be the producer on this title, and also pass over the director role over to Shigeru Omori here for Pokemon Sun and Moon.
今回、モンスターさんの、ディレクターをしました大森と申します。今回はディレクターとして開発全体に携わりました。
So I'm Shigeru Omori from Game Freak, and I was the director on this game, overseeing the entire development of it.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I know you brought some art assets we could take a look at to introduce folks to the Pokemon Moon and Pokemon Sun collection. But first, we've actually got some video footage that you brought for us. So, folks watching, if you sit tight, we're actually going to get that queued up for you so you can take a look.
So actual gameplay footage of Sun and Moon. Right now they're going over one of the islands. Okay. Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon logo. Kukui talking to the male protagonist. The other guy throwing out your starter Pokemon. Rowlet, Litleo, and Poplio. Rowlet is grass flying type. And Litten is a fire type. And Poplio is a water type. I don't know why I hesitated there. And then there's Solgaleo, Psychic Steel type with the ability of Full Metal Body. With Sunsteel Strike. Then Lunala, Psychic Ghost with Shadow Shield with its Moongeist Beam. Then as you cover when they actually reveal the Pokemon. Welcome to the Alola region. And then probably character customization, you can customize their hair color and skin color. Then the Professor Kukui, then Lily, Kukui's mysterious assistant. How, your new friend in Alola. Available November 18, 2016. Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Alright, so there's a lot for us to talk about just from the footage there. The first thing I'd like to actually ask you is, if you can tell us something more about the background of why you went with Sun and Moon as the titles for these games.
今の映像で結構話す内容というのが出てきたんですけども、まずはそうですね、サンとムーンのタイトルについて由来をちょっと教えてもらえますか。はい。
So now they're saying that Solgaleo and Lunala are the emissaries of the Sun and Moon, that they tie into the story in a unique way.
On the subject of legendaries, I know you recently had an event in Taiwan where you revealed some news about another legendary Pokemon.
Now they're talking about the Zygarde.
And what they might expect from that Pokemon in these games. We can maybe talk about that a little bit too.
ちょっと伝説ポケモンの話で、先日ちょっと台湾でXY に登場した伝説ポケモン。
They're talking about the Zygarde reveal with the forms.
そうですね、いよいよ10% ジガルデとパーフェクトジガルデがサンムーンに登場するというお知らせが出ましたけども、今回このジガルデも活躍するっていうのがポイントかなと思います。So, Zygarde, Pokemon that one of the legendary Pokemon that appeared in originally Pokemon X and Y, it just recently showed off their the 10% form and complete form in the games, and these Pokemon these forms will appear in Pokemon Sun and Moon, kind of in a special way that I think people will be excited about.
They look so cool. And actually, here, since we're looking at a little bit of the Alola region in the background, so it's probably a good chance to talk maybe a little bit more detail about the Alola region and what players can maybe expect there.
今回冒険の舞台となるアローラ地方について、どんな地方なのかというのをちょっと教えてもらえますか。そうですね、今回のアローラ地方なんですけども、他の陸地とつながっていない、地方となっています。なので、アローラ地方固有のポケモンが住んでいます。アローラ地方っていう名前なんですけども、名前の由来としては、命を育むで、命を育み生命力にあふれる大地という意味を込めてこの名前にしました。So the Alola region, as you can see, is made up of these 4 islands. It has a man-made island as well. But it's really this region that's just like teeming with life, and that's actually behind the name of the region itself. We have this meaning of kind of region like a miraculous region overflowing with this life force that can support all this different life. And
yeah, I think it's really interesting since it's not connected to any of the other regions. You've got this really interesting area of isolation, and we're seeing all these Pokemon that nobody's ever run into before, and it's almost kind of feels like the Galapagos Islands, where you've got this really interesting remote area where all these other creatures are popping up, and you've got new Pokemon in a really cool environment as well to explore.
陸地とつながってないの、他の大陸とつながってないので、いろんな変わった生命がたくさん登場するんじゃないかなというふうに思ってるんですけど、そうですね、期待しててください。Yeah, I think people will some cool things to see in there.
There, I've been playing and working. I'm very excited. Get a look at it.
会社でちょっと遊んでるんですけど、楽しみにできるものが多いと思います。
And actually, since we're talking about Pokemon, is there anything more that you can tell our viewers about the 3 starters that they'll be choosing from in this game?
今回の最初のパートナーなので3体のなんですけども、この3体について教えてもらえますか。そうですね、もうどの3体も可愛いんですけども、今回特に動きについてすごく意識して作ってまして、バトル中だったりとか、いろんな な時にこう動きが可愛くなるようなデザインとして作られています。So of course they're all very cute, but one of the things I really focused on with these three in particular is making their movements really cute when they're represented in the game. Like for example, in battle and other parts of the game, you see them moving around, and they're really cute, kind of make you want to reach out and touch them almost. あとやっぱりこう世界中の人が見て
Good ballot, good popular, good bufflet,
デザイン
ballot lit and popular.
タイプのカラー、草タイプだったらグリーンが入っていたりとかっていうその分かりやすさっていうのをやっぱり最初の3匹は大事にしています。
And another thing we always pay attention to with, or really focus on with the initial Pokemon you choose for your partner is making them kind of universally relatable so people from around the world will be able to look at these Pokemon and relate with them very easily. And also very easy to understand. Like for example, the grass type Pokemon is going to be very obviously, so being careful with the colors.
So I think what folks have seen already from the animations that we've shown in a little bit of video footage we've been able to share, they have a lot of personality. I actually picked Poplio because I'm a hardcore water starter fan. My first was a Squirtle and I'm stuck with them, but I've been having a great time so far, and we're looking forward to seeing what other folks pick when I get into the starters as well.
最初ゼニガメ選んだので水タイプの足回りを触っていいですね。どれもすごい個性的なので悩むのかなと思います。
And it's interesting actually what you talked about with the design of the starter Pokemon. I think they also really fit nicely in with the kind of tropical climate and environment we've got. And I know that's something that you worked in with the design of the player characters as well this time around.
今回南の国っていうような設定なんですけど、
Hero slash heroine,
それに合ってる感じだと思うんですけど、
heroine,
今回の主人公のデザインもそれを意識されてる部分ありますが、
male protagonist and girl
国
protagonist.
っていうのを表現する、じゃあ地方ですね、表現するためにかなり軽装にしています。
So yeah, obviously the region this time, the climate there is extremely warm, so we wanted to make sure that the characters, the designs were more lightly dressed than maybe other designs have in the past.
I think you'll notice the proportions are different, especially when we get into gameplay in a couple seconds here. They're going to see it's a little different how they're used to seeing their characters in the game.
また今回ちょっとこの後実機プレイを見せるんですけども、ちょっとあれですね、頭身がちょっと変わったっていう話ですよね。
そうですね。よりこう没入感を高めようと思って頭身上がってますね。
So yeah, we changed the proportions this time to be more realistic. We really wanted to kind of increase this sense of immersion, and I think you'll see that when we get there.
Yeah, I don't know if I can talk about this yet, but sharp-eyed viewers probably noticed that both of those pieces of art, there was an interesting bracelet that the players were wearing. I don't know if we can, probably can't talk about that just yet.
Now they're acting about the bracelets.
腕はみたいなものってつけてるんですけど、ありました。
Acting about those bracelets.
For later talk, maybe we can talk about that. But I think we've probably kept folks in anticipation long enough. So Terry, you want to jump in and show some gameplay?
I'm excited for this.
Here we go.
So I just want to mention as we get into gameplay here, this game is still in development. So folks, everything you see here might not be exactly what you're going to see in the final release of the game, but I think we can give you a really good sense.
It's time for gameplay.
そうですね。こんな早い段階で実は初めてで、どんなポケモンが出る
Gameplay. And there's a polka doll of Pikachu in your starting room.
This is actually the first time for us to show a Pokemon game at this stage of development, kind of get live gameplay. So
Apparently, you own a Meowth as a pet.
we may see some all new Pokemon.
Fingers crossed, that'd be really cool. Actually, as we get started here, Suzuki-san and Mori-san, can you tell us a little bit about the story and the background of what's going on right now in the game?
今ここで主人公は何をしているかということでしょうか。
そうですね。主人公はですね、アローラ地方に引っ越してきたばかりという設定になっています。で、今回すでに少し進んでいまして、最初のポケモンはすでに、もらっています。で、今からリリータウンというところでお祭りが開催されるので、そこに向かうところです。
So at this point in the game, it's a little bit slightly into it, but it's the player actually had just moved to the Alola region the other day. And
Just moved to the Alola region.
previous to where we are in the game, he had received his first partner Pokemon on his adventure. And right now we're actually on the way to a neighboring town where there's a festival.
I think here we can see we were talking about earlier. Oh, you're just jumping into the long grass.
誰が出るポケモンが出ますか。
But I thought animation kind of cool. How it got like a camera like pans through the grass up to the Pokemon. Then you send a little bit of a different menu because fights on the big fight icon to the right of the screen. Pokemon's on top left. Bag is on the bottom left. Runs at the bottom. In the middle of the screen showed the Pokemon that are out. a bit unique bottom screen placing. Instead of just like fight in the very middle, run in the bottom, and then bag in the bottom left, and then bottom right Pokemon. So it's a bit unique. And they're just talking about the camera angles, and I'm just talking about the bottom screen. And in the time of day, shadows for the Pokemon are going to be different. Saying the shadows are longer because it's in the evening. And the camera are going to be changing if you just sit there in the battle. And the moves are all just at the side along the fight menu, and apparently Popplio will start it off with like Pound, Growl, Pound, Water Gun, and Growl. And then you can still, I don't know, you can still select, there's actually just a button on the side to move to get the stats on it, like your PP, your power, your accuracy, your description, all that jazz. Oh, and if you in the 2D Pokemon that's in the middle of the bottom screen, you can actually tap them and use stat changes. Because in the trailer, the Popplio just use Growl on the Letty button, they shut that off, so you tap it, and the attack has a blue down arrow indicating that it's down one attack. And now you show you catching the Pokemon. One shake, two shakes, three shakes, and a quart to catch it. Letty caught. And you still get experience for catching a Pokemon just like Gen 6. And as you color code the stats, HP is in green, attack is white or yellow, and I couldn't see the rest. So it'll be added to your Rotom Pokedex.
Oh, and this is actually something that we should talk about as well. Can you tell our viewers a little bit more about what you're seeing on the upper screen?
Not sponsored by Aquafina, nor Nintendo.
So one of the things we wanted to do with the Pokedex this time was really encourage players to, again, when we want to catch them all, really fill out the Pokedex. And one way we've done that, as you can see, there's the Ladybug Discover registered, but next to it is a white Pokeball icon. What that does, that indicates there's an empty space, which means that either it has an evolution, or maybe there's another Pokemon out there that kind of wants to pair with it. So that'll kind of encourage players who really want to fill up that empty space, go out and search and, catch all.
So apparently at the Pokemon there's an empty circle there. If there's an empty white circle there indicates it has another form or an evolution or something dealing with that Pokemon is missing. And added another new Pokemon that I couldn't see the name of, not the koala or anything like that, or the dog. Actually, probably the dog. I don't know. Yuck or something like that.
Getting hungry, and then so it's looking for food. But whenever
And when it gets hungry, it looks for food aggressively.
I'm not gonna bad for it though. I feel like just throw in a bag of chips or something and I'd be like, thank you. I'm always hungry.
I think it's YUNGOOS, Yungoos, or something like that.
Yeah, this is always like the most stressful seconds in any Pokemon player's life. Actually, this is what gives
Yungoos is what it's called.
Pokédex, so we've got a new Pokemon to check out.
Then it shows the Rotom Pokedex and it doesn't let us see the information on that Pokemon.
So we've got some interesting changes.
The Dream Crash. Did it crash or something? Oh, it's working. It's working now. Apparently, early in the game, you don't have the Rotom Pokedex.
Take a quick circle around. We could show off not only the trainer's proportions, but also the movement is a little bit different than what folks who played previous Pokemon games have expected.
頭身が変わっただけではなくて、今ちょっと移動のなんていうんですか、見た目というか、ちょっとそうですか、はい、今回フリーに自由に動けるような仕組みにしてますね。So yeah, you can move around. It's free, full analog movement this time.
Full free analog movement.
We need to tell players what's going on here when they're seeing the shadow come in.
So you get the weird shadow coming in, I guess, is when you get within eyesight of the trainer.
So you see that lady over there, or that girl, throwing a Pokeball up and down. So she's a Pokemon trainer, and when she's obviously going to try to battle, but what that kind of shadow that appears on the screen indicates is that there's that she's going to challenge him to a battle. So it kind of increases this sense of tension that you're about to go into a battle, and that indicates that to the player. So I can either avoid her or actually battle her. I think we'll battle her.
Yeah, it feels like that moment where people are like glaring at each other. Ready to fight.
Apparently, the trainer doesn't actually have to walk up to you.
You're trying to get somewhere really quickly, or your
Last Audrey.
right now you don't want to fight. It's nice to have that second where you can avoid it before you just kind of stumble yourself.
Caterpie. Poplio.
I think that's what we can see here. We're seeing the other trainer as well.
And you see both trainers in the fight.
Such a good look at the Pokemon proportions alongside their trainers.
Good look at the Pokemon proportions and the size compared to the trainer. You see it's some Pokemon proportions that don't make any sense.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the new things I think about having the trainers battle, like you mentioned, it really gives you that sense of scale.
I think from the experience I've had at the office playing this game, it's really going to surprise people when they take a look at just how big and small certain Pokemon are when they're actually standing right next to them.
Yeah, it don't really mess with you with what you think your Pokemon sizes are. There goes Caterpie.
The trainers being represented in full 3D this time, they all have unique motions and reactions. For example, how they throw their Pokeball or their reaction when they lose, for example. I can be very much so. They just got an item there.
I think there might be some more folks we can battle up here.
We won number one route on the something on the spectrum because my computer I'm actually also having to play on my computer and no audio and it's just a little behind.
It's really great how it feels. It really fits in with the tropical environment.
Pickle Oliver sent out Yungoos.
With how the battle interface is set up, it's really easy to just get super involved in the battle to whatever extent.
Yep, a new Pokemon.
You've got all this information at your fingertips. It's
So
not
now everything is being on Facebook now.
If there's anything that you need to check on,
Yungoos is a loitering Pokemon, normal type, Fake Out, Strong Jaw is its abilities. Whatever Fake Out is. 1 foot 4 inches, 13.2 pounds.
I love Youngoose's fainting animation. She's so cute.
Oh, but now new Pokemon. Pika Pick or something. It looks like a bird Pokemon. Pika Peck. I think it's like P-I-K-I-P-E-K. And how much you want back gonna be all over Facebook right now, automatically. Nope, still Yungoos is the one that's on Facebook. In a few minutes, it'll be this bird.
Twitching its head side to side. I think that the level of detail that you guys
It looks a little red, so I'm thinking that might be a little hint to it being a fire flying type, kind of like Fletchling during Town Flame.
Oh no, oh.
And Poplio finally fainted, and now you gotta use another Pokemon.
As a good chance to mention, actually, we did find a Pokeball earlier as we were walking around, and you can find secret items to help you out along the way that can help you heal up your
And this Pokemon caught, is it gonna give us information, or is it not gonna be like that? We have to wait for someone to get it on Facebook. Then defensive orange, special attack is blue, defensive indigo, special defensive indigo, and then B is violet. Go down the color spectrum. Pika Peck, P-I-K-I-P-E-K. It's a normal flying type. That's what I expected at the beginning, but it might become a fire type, I don't know. And there's probably old, yep, another Pokemon. Woodpecker Pokemon, normal flying type, keen eyes, Hushgilling, 1 foot, 2.6 pounds. I'm in a Facebook group for Pokemon. People are going crazy, revealing information about the new Pokemon. And they now are in the next town.
So, actually, as we move into this area here, we're going to be meeting several different characters that are here.
Oh god, it's buffering, oh god.
Maybe aren't familiar with. Would you mind just giving us a quick introduction to
Why is it buffering?
It's actually the guy who gives you your first partner.
Holla.
Who would say his name, a very strong trainer on the side.
Hi, bud. Apparently that's the same part of the festival that is in the other town, the neighboring town that you have to go through Route 1 is to battle your rival.
Kukui right there in the white lab coat, he's a professor who specializes in researching Pokemon moves, like their attacks and such.
So I guess Kukui specializes in Pokemon moves and attacks. Like how Sycamore specializes in Mega Evolution, and I guess Rowan specializes in Evolution. So now Kukui specializes in the moves and attacks.
She's the assistant of Professor Kukui. She's not a Pokemon trainer, but she'll join you on your adventure throughout the story.
So Lily isn't a trainer, but she'll join you.
Say, to the college of all, they
I think it's time we go into the festival battle.
So I think it's going to be really interesting for fans of the series to see this battle and this space. The way that Pokemon and Pokemon battles are integrated into the culture in these islands is really interesting. And you get these amazing battle spaces where other folks are gathering around and watching you guys fight.
このやっぱこう人間の社会とかポケモンバトルのなんていうんですか社会の一部になってすごい大切なものっていうのがすごく伝わりますね。こういう、しっかりしたこうバトルアリーナみたいなのができてて、そうですね。まあ今回このお祭りなんですけども、2人の旅立ちをまあ祝うというかそういう儀式になってます。で戦った後にこの2人は島を巡る冒険が始まるというストーリーになっています。So in this particular festival, actually, this is kind of a celebration or a way to kind of kick off both you and Hal's adventures to kind of travel across the island. So it's kind of a ritual in the society.
So battle sends out Pichu, so Pichu gonna be in the game, obviously. Then a Poplio. Pretty sure it's probably gonna be Pichu, and then Litten. Play your rival, pick the Pokemon that you guys are good against. Beats how does. Beats how does. And they pick Poplio in this gameplay, so he has Litten.
Here we can see checking different effects.
敵の相手方も自分側も両方見えるのでとても便利です。
You can see both your change that is changing as well as the opponent's that is changing to really see what's going on in the battle.
So looking at
Yeah, at the bottom you can see both that changes that they're saying.
strips, nice tropical locations maybe. I mean, it's for research, it's work.
これからまあ南の国っていう設定なんですけど、やっぱこう研究目的でこういろんな素敵な場所に行けたんじゃないでしょうか。そうですね。まあ開発のスタッフでこう実際にハワイですね、いろいろなモチーフがデザインに追加されたりしています。So yeah, we actually took as the staff, the development staff that came through trips to Hawaii to really do some research, and we definitely utilize that to kind of reflect it in the game.
I should have convinced my boss that I need to do that to prep for this. To really get this segment, I really should do that.
このセグメントのためにやっぱハワイに行ってくればよかったですね。
Go on, Terry, show us what you get.
So, Poplio actually just learned this umming voice. So, maybe that gonna lead some people saying that Poplio might be a fairy type when it fully evolves.
First Pokemon you can choose your adventure, but you've actually encountered him, you battled against him and his Litten once in the story. And so once in Pokemon Sun Moon, once you battle the Pokemon once, the next time you battle it, you'll get information on your move list about which moves are effective and which ones aren't.
Oh. So after you battle a Pokemon one time, they'll give you information. So for Litten it says Pound is effective, Water Gun super effective, and Disarming Voice not very effective because Fire neutral with normal, weak to water, and resistant against Fairy. So I'm thinking that Poplio might have to become a water fairy type, kind of like a Azumarill.
More Pokemon. You're like, okay, I actually maybe don't want to be super effective right now. I need to kind of send these Pokemon down. So being able to remember maybe you want to use your weaker attacks sometimes just to kind of get just enough.
So that's going to be very useful. So people don't need like a type charge. So they bought another video because they don't want to go any further because they don't want to reveal the story to us. And we can see Monster and everyone else at Nintendo.
ポケモンはやっぱりコミュニケーションツールとして今までこう対戦とか交換とかっていうのをやってきたんですけども、今回はさらにこう新しい形でのバトルっていうものが登場します。バトルロイヤルっていうやつ。
So with Pokemon series, obviously, using it as a kind of a communication tool, facilitating that communication between players is always been one of the things we've really focused on with the game. So trading and battling between players, of course. This time that's no different. We've got an all-new multiplayer battle mode, which we're calling the Battle Royale.
All right, well, let's see if our crew can load that up for us and we can
So there's some battle royale here. Elio, Sun, Celine, and Moon.
So as we get started here, can you tell us a little bit about what the rules are for Battle Royale and how the matches are decided?
Apparently the stream been going for over an hour. Battle Royale and the for Battle Royale don't pack and fill to excitement.
So in this mode, it's actually 4 players. Each player chooses up to 3 Pokemon and battles with 1 at a time. In this video,
Green Quarter Elio sent out Pikachu.
Pokemon for the sake of time.
York Sun sent out Violet. Red Corner Celine sent out Poplio. And the Blue Corner Moon sent out Litten.
It works with how it determines the winner. So it's a free-for-all battle. But whenever one of the trainers, when the first trainer to lose all of his or her Pokemon, that signals the end of the battle.
Set up online, kind of, with the fact, like...
And then once the battle is over, once the first person loses all of their Pokemon, then to determine the winner, the game tallies up each player's how many Pokemon they've defeated, and also how many Pokemon they ever made on their team. And whoever has the highest number.
So the battle goes until one trainer loses all their Pokemon. That tallied up with the remaining players who have, with how many they killed and how many they have left. So neat. Violet uses Leafage on Poplio.
So yeah, it's a free-for-all, and of course, you could have 3 people gang up on one really strong person, or you really have to kind of determine your strategy about how you're going to, which order you're going to defeat Pokemon, who you're going to focus on, so totally new gameplay.
Yeah, it is interesting how much more intense it feels, where I'm used to just looking at the trainer in front of me and fighting them, and suddenly it's like, oh, it's 2 more trainers. They have to pay attention to everybody.
Now the battle's over since Poplio fainted.
You may have thought that the trainers there were wearing different outfits from what we saw with the regular player characters we showed off so far. We can't really talk about that yet, but worth noticing.
Gee, I wonder what that is. It's probably the character customization.
Just about out of time, but before we wrap up, I was curious, now that you've had a chance to see some fan reaction to these games, how's it been seeing how Pokemon fans have reacted for Pokémon Sun and Pokémon Moon?
ちょっと時間が来てしまいましたけれども、今回の、ポケモンサンムーン発表されてから、多分ファンの反響というのがあります。そのリアルタイムについて話してもらえますか。そうですね、今回、7言語から、9言語に中文を、増やしまして、特にその中文使われている人たちからもたくさん反響をいただいてまして、自分のツイッターとか、いただいてるんですけども、やっぱりポケモン20周年ということもあって、ここからさらに広がりを見せるために、非常にみんなが喜んでくれて、とても嬉しいなと。So yes, the reaction from everyone has been really great. I get tons of messages and tweets and everything. This being the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, one of the goals we really want to kind of for the future of Pokemon, really expand it to even a wider audience. And as I think we've announced previously, in addition to the 7 languages we had, X, Y, and Sapphire, we also added Chinese, simplified Chinese, and traditional Chinese. And I think a lot of especially from those regions, like fans have really been kind of excited about it, sending me lots of great messages.
And is there anything final that you'd like to wrap up and say to fans who are watching the stream right now?
ちょっと最後にファンにメッセージということで何かありますか。そうですね、もう今までにないチャレンジをこのソフトはサントムーンはしているので、皆さんすごい楽しみに待っていてください。So yeah, I think Sun and Moon, we're really doing a lot of new challenges for us here at Game Freak, so I hope everyone will just look forward to the games. 自分も完全新作としてディレクター初めてだったんで、たくさんの苦労があったんですけども、その甲斐があってすごいいいゲームができたので期待してください。So there was a lot of challenges for me, especially as it's the first time directing an entirely new generation of Pokemon Game Freak, but I think we really brought the game together. It's really turned into something fantastic, and I hope fans really look forward to it.
I I know I'm definitely looking forward to it. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us some insight into the development work here. Watching again, that was Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, which are coming out for the Nintendo 3DS family of systems this November, so you don't have to wait too much longer. And please don't go anywhere. In a few moments, we're actually going to be coming back. San is going to be stopping by to show us some gameplay for a game you might be thinking about, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Anyway, I got finished watching the Pokemon Sun and Moon part of the live stream, and it was good. I like what was seen so far, with the fact with the Battle Royale and the new features with the Battle Queen, with the fact you can get on a wink of an eye check a Pokemon status changes, or check what moves are effective or what certain moves do. I like the changes, and it's gonna be good. I'm thinking Pokemon Sun and Moon are gonna be good games. I'm gonna like how they turn out eventually whenever they launch in November. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and let's be back here tomorrow, shall we?